Hey everybody, this is Presto.
It's CorporalNosaj.
And this is episode 32 of the Nintendads podcast. Today, we have a special treat for you guys. We are going over, or shall I say, we are revealing our top games by time played. So we are actually going to take our Switches, and we are going to go through the top two rows. If you don't know, you can sort your games by time played. And me and Nosaj, the corporal,
scroll all the way over to the scroll all the way over, all games.
Yeah.
Top section.
And you can sort them by time played. So we are going to go over the first two rows. That's 12 games each. And there's not going to be, there's overlap because a lot of the games we've played.
Some overlap.
There's a lot of overlap.
Let's face it,
And this is sort of a big deal because there are plenty of games on this top list that are a little embarrassing, that are a little undeserving of being in the top 12, but are there nonetheless. And we're going to tell you why and if they deserve to be there or not.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we do.
You just do it.
Deserving.
You just do it for 40 hours, and you're like, "Why did I do that?
Why did I do that?"
I love the Five Nights at Freddy's shirt. It's beautiful.
Get into view of the camera so people can see it.
But first, this breaking news. We had some interesting news this week. Let's start with our dear Monster Hunter Rise news. Monster Hunter Rise being developed, timed exclusive for Switch, finally got the official word that Monster Hunter Rise will release for PC sometime in 2022, most likely early 2022.
So it is a timed release. It's sad that it's not also going to be for the other systems.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Nintendo, right, it's like the other consoles are sort of competition, but I don't think anywhere in Nintendo's world do they view PC gaming as real competition for the Switch.
Yeah.
Even though for my free time, it is.
It's just that you'd think that if you're going to do a timed release for something, maybe they must have paid.
They paid $6 million. They paid $6 million. We've said this on the show before. $6 million buckaroos.
Yeah, I know,
But maybe, I don't know, maybe the Monster Hunter Rise with included DLC that they release is 2023 for PlayStation 5 and Xbox XS, M&S Prime, whatever the Series X thing they call it nowadays. So, yeah, Monster Hunter Rise coming 2022. If it has cross progression, I can see myself buying it on PC again for the overhauled probably graphics and performance from the Switch. Depends. If it's just going to look like on the PC like it does on the Switch, then I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Could be interesting. Crossplay is unlikely, but that would be very nice too.
No, that's not going to happen. Cross progression might be possible, but
yeah, like at least you can carry your save over once when you switch over, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. Come on, Capcom. The other big news is the big Pokemon thing happened this past week, and there's two things. First, let's just get the fluff out of the way. Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, are getting remakes. I'm doing air quotes for those of you listening on video. You can see I'm doing air quotes. They're getting remakes.
For those of you listening on video.
Yeah, for those of you listening on video with your eyes, your ears, and your taste buds, they're getting remakes. And I guess if you really like Diamond and Pearl, this is exciting because it's getting graphic overhaul. It's getting it kind of looks more like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu to me, the layman. So those are getting remakes for the Switch. Cool. It's exciting, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. But then, now this is something Corporal. How long have you been asking for an open world Pokemon game, Corporal?
Truthfully, in reality, I have been saying that there should be an open world video game for Pokemon series since like my first Xbox 360. Like, truthfully, I like it was a dream though. It was like one of those like little pubescent teen dreams that never will actually happen.
Right next to Pokemon MMO, right?
Yeah. As a mature adult with upper level thinking, I had said from the official announcement of Breath of the Wild that this should be a Pokemon game. You could do this, but Pokemon. And I must have blasted forums and Facebook groups about this. I know I spouted about it on Twitter. If you scroll my history, you creeps that are out there, let me tell you, I have said this before. There should be an open... Matter of fact...
Well, Sword and Shield came close. It was a tease because they had the open world sections. And we were like, open world? And then it was like... as long as you stay in this little
when we
tiny
talked
box.
about the Sword and Shield game, go back and listen to like episode 2 or 3 when we first talked about that way back in the day, a year ago or more. I had said this very same thing, that there should be an open world Pokemon game. Like, I've been saying this since the dawn of the Nintendads.
And
there should be a Pokemon open world.
Here it is. So they announced Pokemon Legends Arceus. So this is not...
It's a weird title.
It's not a mainline game, even though it's like the most innovative, interesting game they've put out in a while. It's set in the past, in the Sinnoh region. And this is before gyms, before badges. Basically, this is like feudal Japan. And the Pokeballs don't even have buttons. They have little manual latches, if you've seen the trailer. And it's... I have mixed feelings about this because on the one hand it's super hype because it's open world Pokemon. This is the dream, right? But if you watch the trailer, I'm not so sure this is like a Pokemon game. I mean it's a Pokemon game, but like you like kind of sneak up on things and you throw Pokeballs. There's not like a traditional battle system. Like it's just something a little bit off about it, and I think it's gonna lean too heavily on the open world and forget the parts of Pokemon that people play Pokemon for. And I could be 1,000% wrong. Also, this game looks like it is being run on a TI-86 calculator because there are frame drops, there are stutters in the trailer, and it's not coming till 2022, so they have a lot of room for improvement. But like, the performance on Sword and Shield on the Switch was pretty garbo at launch. So like, if they're gonna do a full open world game, they need to like... And I don't understand, Breath of the Wild runs so great. Why is the Pokemon company like tripping over the shoelaces every time they have to render something more than like 5 yards away?
I'm trying to play the trailer in the background, but the moment I hit full screen, it freezes. Just
see, your computer can't even handle how bad the performance in the trailer looks. But I mean, what do you think about this? Do you think this is going to be open world for open world's sake, or if it's actually going to be a good game?
Oh, it's 100% open world for open world's sake, which is why they removed some of the mechanics. That was one of my gripes when I even came with this concept, because we all know that I was original to come up with this concept.
That you sold it to Nintendo for...
idea. Oh, yeah. So when I came with this idea, I had always said from the very beginning that in order to do this, you have to do it in almost a Final Fantasy style set, where it's an open world. You get to a battle, you sneak up on them, and you can pull up a little sub menu. Which Pokemon I'm going to go with first? Okay, this one, and then throw, and then
so sort of the Sword and Shield style, where you run into them and then it spawns a thing.
You run into them and then it I would have been okay with that.
See, I would... my dream Pokemon open world game, and then we'll move on from speculation land, but like, my dream open world game is sort of how... I guess, was it Final Fantasy 12, where it's like you're moving, and when you get in combat, it just is like, okay, now you're in combat, and you don't go into a separate thing. Like, you still have freedom of movement, but like,
sure.
And maybe that's how this is going to work, and maybe it's going to be awesome. But
I mean, I'm perfectly okay with that concept.
I mean, we've basically only seen a teaser trailer at some point. At this point,
yeah.
But you know what? This got me thinking, though. This got me thinking because the pipe dream for most people with Pokemon is an open world Pokemon MMO, and I don't think that will ever happen because what the Pokemon Company does and how they release Pokemon games is they release this remake and they release Sword and Shield and they have all these different products. And if there was a Pokemon MMO that was like an ongoing service, why would you ever buy another Pokemon game? People would just park it in the MMO. They would centralize their collection there, sort of like home.
Do like what the only way they'd be able to do it. The only way they'd be able to do it is how Microsoft is doing Halo with the whole either the Master Chief Collection or with this new game Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
the
sort of.
So far for Halo Infinite is that there's a massive world that they can just keep adding things to, or you can take a ship to fly off that world and do other things.
Sort of like Destiny's model.
Engine, yeah. Destiny's model, yeah. So that you can continue to expand the universe of what's there. And if you're going to start a game that's that far back in the past, you now have the opportunity of like doing maybe some time jump and going to different regions that are maybe further evolved than other areas. Like, that would be cool to keep expanding.
If Pokemon did that, I would be on board. I would be invested. I would jump back into the series. But it's like, and I know you can transfer your Pokemon over and everything, but it's just like, it was centralized.
I'm very curious to see if Pokemon Home will be included and you can do transfers.
I don't think Legends is going to interact in any way, shape, or form. I think it's going to be a single player experience. There's not going to be any transfers. I don't even think it's going to work at its core.
If this is really just a beta version for their future ideas.
Maybe they're like, all right, everybody wants open world Pokemon. Let's give them a taste, and if they really like it, then the mainline game. Roll. Yeah.
I mean, I like Legend of Zelda too much. If you listen to our last episode, you're going to know how much I like Legend of Zelda. So I would be perfectly okay with literally taking Legend of Zelda reskinned in Pokemon. Like, allow me to climb the mountains, allow me to cook my food, allow me to wear different armor sets or attires so I can traverse different terrain, different climates. Give me different type of things like Crocodile seeds, but give me something else to go throughout the entire map.
You just need
forever.
You just need a modded version of Breath of the Wild, I think.
Yes,
I think that
with Pokemon. I'm perfectly. You can have different regions. You can have different gyms within those regions. You can have reasons to go to those gyms because lava section. You can only get the lava type Pokemon over there.
See, that would be cool.
I would do that.
And then if all your Pokemon faint, then you just take out your sword and your shield and you fight them yourself.
And on top of it, you can have, just like in Breath of the Wild, you can have certain legendary Pokemon that can only be caught in that second because they are like the big great things that fly through the sky, like the mystical dragons that are in Breath of the Wild. You can do these things.
But will they do these things? We'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
A step further, you could even implement the multiplayer option of like allowing somebody to join your world or you to join theirs. Like,
maybe someday.
That's all.
Maybe someday.
That's all.
Anyway, let's get into our show. You're going to find out all the wonderful and questionable games that are in our most played lists. So Let's
grab your Switch.
Let's
Get
do
ready.
it. Let's do it. So, we are going over our top 12 games each. And there's going to be overlap. So you're going to have at least 12 of our most played games. Now, if you're not familiar, if you have your Switch and you scroll, you're at your first game and you hit left, or you scroll all the way to the right, you'll see a thing that says all software. And when you hit it, it'll bring up all of your games, and you can sort them by total playtime. So we are going to go through these from least played in our top 12 to most played in our top 12. So I will start. Coming in at number 12 for me is, can you guess?
You can view your X amount of hours if you go to your profile page and then you scroll down for play activity. It tells you by hours.
Oh, but it's not in order, right?
No, it's not in order.
Oh,
So you've got to scroll to find each particular one.
I'm not going to hunt through that.
It's usually based off of what's at the very top.
So my number 12 most played game on my Switch is Ninjala. Now, Ninjala, I had a lot of hype when Ninjala came out. If you don't know Ninjala, it is a free-to-play, like arena brawler, like 3D arena brawler. It's not a battle royale, because you get lives, you respawn. And basically you're a ninja, you use bubblegum, you take out other ninja, and it came out earlier this year. I did 2 rounds of the beta testing, recorded it. This was before we started streaming, so didn't stream it.
We've got like an entire episode breakdown of this
right.
game.
We did an episode on Ninjala preview, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, you know what, I'm going to go over the good and the bad of each game on that list, and I'm going to say whether it's like still active or if I've archived it or I just don't play anymore. So the good with Ninjala is it's fun, it's free, it's multiplayer, it's fast, it's got some really unique elements to it. The bad is that I stopped playing it because it's too much of a grind to unlock the cosmetics and stuff. Has microtransactions, which I'm fine with, but there's just not a lot there. But I quit playing it because the mechanics, I can appreciate where the mechanics are coming from, but they don't work correctly. Like, there's so many times where I would attack and someone would block, or someone would attack and I would block, and just the game, there was too much latency or the netcode was bad, and it just was like blah, blah, and things happened, things rubber banded around, a lot of things happened that shouldn't have happened. So it was a good idea. I think it's mechanically a little bit sloppy, and definitely a little bit repetitive. So it's archived on my system. I haven't played it since the first season. So that's my number 12. Corporal, is that game in your top 12 or not?
In my top 12, negative.
Okay, then what is your number 12?
So I agree with you with Ninjala. I played Ninjala. I was a part of the beta testing along with yourself. It was fun to be in on the ground floor of something new, but it did not catch my attention and hold me whatsoever. Yeah. So it got archived quickly on my end, so it's not even on my list. My number 12, to nobody's surprise, is Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Okay.
To my surprise.
To Presto's surprise. Final Fantasy VII is an absolute mega of classics. I have a dear friend of mine who literally went out of his way to buy a PlayStation just so he can play the remaster of Final Fantasy VII.
How'd that go?
Like, his PlayStation 5 will be shipped to his house on the 30th. So I'll let you know on the 1st of February.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know Jeff's gamertag name to tell you, but that's my name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff. I have played Final Fantasy VII on so many different systems. I've played it on the original PlayStation. I've played it on PC. I've played it on a bunch of different PCs. I've played it on iPad. I have it on my iPad. And I have it on my Switch. But it's not
For the record, out of all the times that I have played the game, I have never beaten the game.
What?
That was the Presto surprise.
You've never beaten it?
No.
I want to see that game jump up on your list.
Just so I sat by your side when you first played this back when we were in like middle school.
Oh, yeah.
I watched you like go through the emotional struggle of that game.
But that was so long, and we're old, and we have bad memory. If you played it through, it would be like a new experience.
I would not remember any of it, but the amount of time that you have to put in to invest in to get there, I don't know if I have.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, Mister. I've beaten every Halo game on every difficulty. Assassin's Creed, Hitman 1 through A through Z, every Pokemon game. Final Fantasy is a national treasure, and you need to play more of it.
It's a national treasure.
As I talk, and it's not on my top 12. In life, if I had a top 12 games played in life, it might be there. Because, like I said, I played it across every conceivable system. So, yeah. All right.
So, I'll jump here in front of you and alter here. My number 11 is Splatoon 2.
Oh, okay.
Trying to give you an idea.
Splatoon.
So, my Splatoon 2 is that low, and I have said this on stream. I have said this on several other of our episodes, but Splatoon 2 does a very poor job where Splatoon 1 did a spectacular job.
Yes, I can agree on that. I think I definitely prefer Splatoon 1 over Splatoon 2, having played a gross amount of hours in both. But Splatoon 2 relies on positioning and specials and gunplay, while Splatoon 1 was all about the movement, and you could be so creative, you could be so interesting, and it was just more fun. But we've had a lot of fun playing Splatoon. We've streamed
I was
6 Splatfests.
killer. I was a killer at roller in Splatoon 1.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I dominated as a roller.
Just by the dynamics of the design with the levels and the ranged weapons, rollers are not the same.
No, they got nerfed.
They did. They really did. There's more types of rollers, but they all suck in comparison to the rollers.
But you made a good point there. You've put a gross amount of hours of Splatoon 2, so that means it's on your top 12 list.
It absolutely is. It is. We'll get to it. I'm not going to say what number it is because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's on my top 12, yeah. So my number 11, and it shames me that this game is not higher, because it's one of my favorite games on Switch is Hades. Hades is number 11, but it came out I only got it and it came out on Switch 6 months ago, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6 months ago? So,
and we've got a lot of games that we're playing. So.
It has a severe disadvantage as far as how long it's been out. But
I have to say, the Hades Yule log was pretty awesome.
It was fire.
There's so many layers or levels to that joke.
Yes.
Just like the many levels of hell.
It's one hot game. Hades is incredible. It's a rogue-like, so you die, you go back to the beginning, but you do make incremental progress. It's a hard game. It gets real hard. It's very fast-paced. It's got lots of action. The voice acting and the story and the characters, because you know me, I don't care about characters. I usually don't care about any of that stuff. This was the first game that I can remember in recent history where I was actually like emotionally invested in the characters in the story, because these characters
other
are
than Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, recent times. These characters are so well written, so well voiced. Supergiant Games is like, they hit the nail on the head for characters and sound design on everything that they do, and Hades is just incredible. I guess the reason I haven't played it more is because I've kind of beaten all the base things, and now I'm in that point of the game where it's just like the grind of the end game, where it's just like small incremental progress. And then other games came out. But I might stream Hades at some point in the near future, because it's a game that I can always pick up and get back into.
That'd probably be fun to watch. I would watch that. It's so
fun. Yeah, I streamed it. Have I streamed Hades? I think I streamed it once. Maybe once.
No.
So maybe we're due. Is Hades... Do you... First of all, do you even have Hades?
Nope.
You.
Don't even...
You.
Don't own it. Never played it. Never watched anyone play it. The most extent that I have of Hades is the Yule log. That's it.
Oh my lord! I'm gonna have to stream it just so you can watch it and just like, drool.
You'll suck me in. I know you will.
Oh my god, it's so good. I wish it could somehow be multiplayer, because that's my thing. But there's literally no conceivable way. It's not. It's just not a multiplayer game.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to like be like a Diablo.
No, it would not work. Trust me. You've not seen this. You've not seen this game. There was no way, shape, or form it could be multiplayer. All right, so next, my number 10 is multiplayer, is an independent game, is a hand-drawn art style, just like Hades, and it is Streets of Rage 4. Oh my god. I love this game. I've recently fallen back in love with this game.
We just streamed it the other day.
Yeah. Streets of Rage 4 is, if you don't know Streets of Rage, it's a long history of retro beat-em-ups. Some of the best. I remember playing Streets of Rage 1 and 2 on my Sega Genesis alongside Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
When you was a wee young lad.
When I was just a little one. But Streets of Rage 4 came out last year. It has 2-player online co-op. I wish it had 4-player online co-op, but what are you going to do? The soundtrack is amazing. The mechanics and the depth of the combat is amazing. The characters are amazing. It's just a great game. It's just a really great game. And I've re-fallen in love with it because how absolutely piss poor Scott Pilgrim is in multiplayer. Because we got Scott Pilgrim and we tried to play it. It's officially getting called out now. This is an aside.
I
Scott Pilgrim.
love the art style of Scott Pilgrim.
Yep.
Love the art style of Streets of Rage 4.
Yep.
Both games have decent music, if not great music.
Yep.
Both games have some different and interesting layers of combo and button mashing that you can do really progress. And both games offer multiplayer.
Do they, though?
Only one game actually works, though.
Yep. Scott Pilgrim's multiplayer is officially busted.
Yeah.
It does not work. I've tried 3 different times with Wolf by Trade, who is our friend. We've tried 2 different times on stream, and we cannot even get close to beating the first level before the game bugs out, freezes, soft locks, invisible enemies that we can't fight or see.
Or you can't leave the sushi bar.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's just bad. Ubisoft, get your shit together. It's really embarrassing that a AAA title, a game like Scott Pilgrim that's been so anticipated for its return, it gets re-released. Everybody's excited. You go to play with 3 of your friends online, full 4-player online multiplayer. Yes, it's my dream. We all got it. Our whole friend group got it. And then we got punched right in the no-no zone by non-functional online multiplayer. And we were potentially gonna do like an episode. We were gonna do a stream series. Like we had high hopes for this game, but I cannot advise hard enough against buying or supporting
until they come out with a patch. If they come out in the patch and they fix it, then I will totally flip my script. I will stand on top of
100%.
Yeah, I'll stand on top of the Scott Pilgrim flag, the hill, and wave my flag. Like it has all the tropes that I want a great game to be.
It's got level progression. It's got new skills and combos you can unlock.
Got a companion movie that goes with it.
It's been out for 2 weeks at this point, and not a word from Ubisoft. No tweet saying, "Hey, we realize our online multiplayer is dog water. We'll fix that." Like even CDPR, who absolutely murdered Cyberpunk, came out with a response about their broken game faster than Ubisoft did. Come on. Like, it's very disappointing. Anyway,
you can search Scott Pilgrim on Twitter, and other than
just people talking about how either great it is or how mad they are that the multiplayer doesn't
it's
work.
not even that. The entire feed is inappropriate images or cartoon drawings or fan art, and then there's an occasional mention of the game and how you can't play online.
That's bad.
That's all there is.
In stark contrast, Streets of Rage is awesome. The difficulty scales really quickly with 2 people, though. It gets kind of nasty. But it's great. I like it. Is it in your top 12, Corporal?
Top 12?
Yes.
My Streets of Rage. I'm sorry. No. No, it's not.
We have to play more.
Interesting.
So, what number are we on? That was my
10?
number 10. Yeah. What's your number 10?
Mario Kart 8. Yeah, I mean, we can't.
It's the best-selling game on Switch. You know what Mario Kart is. We don't have to tell you.
It's also almost a decade old.
Yeah. Guess what? I don't own Mario Kart.
Really?
I don't own it. It's not anywhere near my top 12. I borrowed it from my nephews, and I played it for a week, and then they demanded that I give it back, so I did.
Demands.
But I don't have it. I don't really have any desire to get it, other than everybody's like, let's play Mario Kart, and I'm like, I don't have it. I'll definitely get the next Mario Kart. But yeah, it's good. What's your
my number 9?
9
is 9. Don't judge me.
Oh no. I'm
just
worried.
don't.
I'm worried
just
about
don't
you.
Judge me, okay? We're friends. We care about each other. We help to lift each other up.
You're making it worse. Just rip off the Band-Aid.
Disney classic Aladdin and Lion King combo.
That could have been a lot worse.
No, my next one's worse.
Oh no. Tell us about, for those unfamiliar somehow with the blockbuster hit.
If you don't know the original Sega Genesis release of Aladdin and or Lion King...
It's too young for you, bro.
Oh, you're... First off, this game has multiple iterations of it because it was released on several different platforms, and each platform had some minor tweaks to it. So depending on which platform you decide to play it on will depend on different challenges or level progression issues that the developers had made by mistake. This digital version of the game allows you to choose which platform version you want to play.
That's interesting.
So if you want the original NES or if you want the Sega Genesis, you can choose those options. This game has both Aladdin and Lion King together sold as one, which is pretty cool because both games were great and difficult in their own right.
Disgustingly hard.
I was about to say, there are top tier gamers who to this day will play Lion King as a challenge because of how difficult it is. And let me tell you, like, Rage Quit was invented because of this game.
Which is so funny because it's a Disney game based on movies that like everybody has seen and loved. Yeah. And it's like, oh no, you want to feel true pain? Forget Super Meat Boy, forget Scott Pilgrim, Lion King.
Throwing your father off the top of a cliff and watching him die isn't enough for you. Not enough for you.
That's how it feels every time you get a game over, just trampled by you.
So, this is definitely one of those games that is a nostalgia buy, but
also a challenge. Also a challenge.
Lady Sage, my fiance, has had this game so deeply rooted in her memory for such a long time that when it finally did come digital, I had to buy it. Like there was no stopping.
Understandable.
And clearly, it being number 9, we played it.
Yeah, you played it. Have you beaten it? Have you beaten either of them yet?
Do I look like I make 10 grand a month from playing games? I'm not a pro.
Okay. Well, I don't have it. I don't own the game, so it's not my top 12.
Did you ever play it?
I played both growing up.
Okay.
I played Lion King at my friend's house, and I owned Aladdin, which is why I highly recommend you hit the start button and hit ABBAABBA start, and you'll skip the level. I don't know why that's the one game probably because I used it so much. It's so hard.
This particular game on the digital version, because it's digital, they've allowed you to pause the game and save your progress file, which you were not able to do in the original one.
Oh yeah.
You had to play all the way through.
The original.
If you lost power, if you lost power, like in the original Sonic, that was it. You started over from level 1. So
you cried. So, yeah, I played both of those growing up.
This game also has a feature which is phenomenal. If you die multiple times, it'll prompt you, do you want to watch a pro play this section? So you can get it on. It has a video that will then pop up, and it'll show you how a pro has beaten this section before.
I feel like that would just make me more salty.
Oh yeah, you failed 6 times. I would just
be screaming, I know! I need to jump on the parrot and then the alligator and then the giraffe, but I can't!
And this other guy makes it look simple.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, watch our tool-assisted run. Anyway, my number 9 is sitting on the shelf. Actually, back here, you can't see it. My number 9 is Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Kamehameha! So this is a 2D Dragon Ball Z fighter. It's fast-paced. It's a 3v3.
It's on your list, to be honest with you, because I have this game and it's not on my list.
Yeah, well, I got into it for a little while. Nick Yeti played it with me for a little while. Mm-hmm. It's a 3v3 game. It has online multiplayer. The online multiplayer is kind of hit or miss, especially on Switch. But it's a fun game. It's a fighter. It's one of those games though that you have to put a lot of time into to like play against other people, because if you don't, they just like 0 to death you. Like it's a very tough game to keep up competitive on. They've released like 15 characters of DLC maybe. Like they've released a lot of DLC. They've kept up on it. They do balance patches. Like it's a pretty well maintained game. It's just a little... I just don't play it anymore. I just don't play it. It's archived. I mean, I have it on physical. It's one of the few games that I have on a physical version, but I haven't... it's got dust all over it. It's a tough game to play. You really have to keep up on it if you want to be competitive. I can't play games like that casually. That's my curse. Is if there's a game that has a competitive scene and that's like competitive online... I either have to research and do frame data and be really good at it, or I don't play it at all. Like, to just play it casually and just lose and, like, or, like, play for fun. Like, I just don't. I have to be good at it. And for a while I was, but it's just, with every patch, you have to relearn everything, so I'm not into it.
I'm not doing that.
But it is fun. If you like fighters, it's one of the better fighters on the system. My number 8 is... Oh, wait. Well, do you have... You said you have DBFZ, but it's not
I have.
12.
It's not, and
Okay.
I it's probably like at my bottom of my list because it's one of those games. When I realized how deep the play progression was, I didn't. It was too much for me.
Yeah, it's... I mean, we ended up at the same place, being like, no, thank you. My number... What is this? 8? Number 8
Yep.
is Diablo 3 Eternal Edition. Eternal Collection. Diablo 3 is an amazing, amazing game. I love this game. It's one of the best action RPGs out there. It's just great. I still play it a lot on PC because these guys must have been hanging out with the dudes that made Scott Pilgrim, because the online multiplayer is trash.
Yeah.
Me,
I just
you...
checked. I think this was the one game that I bought physical for the Switch, and I don't have it. So I think this is also a game that I got rid of.
Is it on your top 12?
Nope.
See, I played this. This is awesome to play handheld. I played this on my commute for like 2 months straight, so I have a lot of hours into it. Super duper fun. Me, you, and Nick Yeti all got it around the same time.
Yep.
And I could play with you. You could play with him. We could all play together if you were hosting, but if me and Nick Yeti ever tried to play together, the system said no way. It just...
And there was no rhyme or reason to that.
But it's a problem that's been around since the game launched on Switch. It's never been properly addressed. It's never been patched. So guess what? I don't even own Diablo 3 on the Switch anymore. I sold it.
Yeah.
Because
when you sold it, it was when I'm pretty sure I traded mine in so that I could get Pokemon Shield.
Pokemon Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Diablo, fantastic game. If you like local multiplayer or single player for this game, it's fantastic. Highly, highly recommend it. It actually runs great on Switch. Me and Nick Yeti still play it on PC sometimes. But if you're looking to play online with friends, it's a coin flip. Because the times we played, it worked flawlessly. For most people, it works
flawlessly. For you
flawlessly.
and I, it was fine.
But sometimes it doesn't work at all. And it's like, it's 2020. If your online multiplayer is non-functional, like repeatedly non-functional, no, you're I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
So my number 8 is Pokemon Quest. Nobody knows what Pokemon Quest is.
Quest. Wait a second. No. Wait a second. Is that the one where they're like block figures?
Yes. Yes. My number 8 is Pokemon Quest, and yes, it is like it's like a mobile game.
It's like Roblox. It's like Roblox with Pokemon. I think I downloaded this game when I first got my Switch.
Because it was free.
Because it was free, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I played it for 5 minutes, and I would rather use this as a coaster for my drinks.
So, first off, don't underestimate Quest for a couple reasons.
You're too late.
Quest allows you to travel the land and try to catch them all, but it also allows you to pick up food, and you can feed your Pokemon different things in order to increase your friendship level. It also will allow you to, when they do get into battles with other Pokemon, that they like pounce on top of each other. It's not like a Charizard attack.
It's like Minecraft fighting. It's just like,
yeah, but it's like this is the bad guy, and it's like like it's they jump on each other. It's weird, but it's I enjoyed it.
Why do you have so much time in this game?
My son.
Okay, see, that is... You have to be honest now. Don't abuse it for your weird-ass taste in games, though.
So, in all honesty, I have played it. I've played it a bunch because it was at the time it was the only Pokemon game available before everything else came out.
Yeah.
So that was my fix.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Defensible.
I don't know if it was that high of a fix, but Little Red helped me get it there.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I do have the game. It's since been deleted within the first 10 minutes of me owning a Switch, so it didn't quite make my top 12.
Okay. Didn't quite. When we get done with all this, I'm very interested to know what your runner-up list is.
There's some sleeper hits on the runner-up list, though. Yeah, we'll go over that. What's your next most played one?
So that was 8. So now we're talking about 7. It is Pokemon Shield.
Shield, okay.
So we're going to get to Sword at some point, I'm sure, between the two of us.
Wait, do you have both?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. So
I got both because I wanted both Pokemon. Like, I wanted to collect them all.
Oh my God.
So I handed in Diablo so I could get Shield because I had already purchased Sword.
I see.
So Sword is further up on my list to give a hint, but I mean, what is there not to say about Shield, or what is there not to say about those Pokemon games? Like, they had everything; they were the best that they could be. I was so grateful for what they were able to accomplish with that game. They could have done so much more, but this is Nintendo, so what did you expect?
Yeah, so I do have Pokemon Shield on my top 12. And it's higher than 8, obviously, because I haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah.
But it was so easy. It was so easy. I don't think I lost a fight like until the very, very end of the game.
I feel like there should have been an option to increase the difficulty level.
Yes, that would have been wonderful.
If they would have, because I would have gotten a quarter of the way through the game and been like, this is getting mundanely easy.
Yeah.
Let me increase the difficulty level. And because I've already told you that I have Sword, so I played Sword first because Sword was the one that I purchased. And I got Sword so that I could be the yin to your yang with Shield. Mm-hmm. And I played the heck out of Sword. When I finally bought Shield, I had transferred all of my Pokemon using the Pokemon
I remember this. Oh, God. Pokemon Home.
And so when I finally started playing Shield, I had like all sorts of different Pokemon from varying levels that were so much more powerful. So whatever level I was as a character, I could just drop in those Pokemon that were in that level and burn through the game.
Yeah.
Like, they should have had an option for difficulty level for people like me.
Yeah. I liked Shield. It wasn't quite the open world Pokemon game that I had wanted. And admittedly, it's like they had open world sections.
Oh, so I straight up wanted... I agree with you. I straight up wanted Breath of the Wild, but with Pokemon.
I think we'll get there. I think the next iteration, because they basically sold Sword and Shield, on the promise of having open world sections.
Yeah.
And I thought for the most part they were okay. The reason I ended up getting Shield was because I saw what the game looked like. Like I said, I saw what the game looked like on PvP at a competitive level, and how it was like, oh, I have to use this, and it was like really exciting and interesting, and I was like, that looks really cool. Like, I want to play this game. I'll play through the story, I'll collect all the guys, and then my goal is to get into the competitive community a little bit. Like, not go crazy, but like, I want to like online battle people, because this has fully automated online battling. So I was like, that's really cool. And then I tried to do that, and the amount of time and resources and energy and luck that goes into creating even a semi-competitive Pokemon team is gross. It's disgusting. Like you have to do like 5 to 10 hours of work per Pokemon on your team if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And I did that process for one of my Pokemon, and I got him sort of there. Not optimized, not perfect, but like to where I would actually be able to take him into a battle, and that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. I can't do this 5 more times.
Yeah.
And then just to have a team of 6, like, it's wild. And then they had the online raids, which were kind of stupid. And yeah, I sold this game.
That was you sold it? Jesus.
Sold it.
So
it went out with Diablo.
That was my what was that? 12, 11, 10, 9. That was 8, right?
Yeah. No, that was 7. You went over 7. 8 and 7, so now I go.
Well, okay, yeah, go ahead.
So my number 7 is Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. So let me preface this by saying Animal Crossing came out a couple weeks after COVID quarantine had started.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, myself included, this was the exact game that people needed at this time. It is so non-conflict. It's the most chill, relaxing game that you can pick up, play it for 10, 15 minutes, get some stuff done, put it down. It runs in the background. The world keeps going without you. So you can plant flowers, talk to your neighbors, do something, put it down, pick it up the next day. Everything that's on your island has continued to go, and you just come in, everybody's so happy to see you. You know, your stuff grows, you get new things. I remember playing this all throughout the spring in my backyard with a beer in my hand, just hanging out in my hammock. And it was just like the best experience ever. And if that's the experience you're looking for, I absolutely recommend Animal Crossing. But it's really specific.
Your scenario, your exact scenario, is why it did so well and is why it was like number 1 selling for the Nintendo Switch.
Yes,
because there were millions upon millions of people, and it wasn't just here in the United States, it was worldwide, that type of thing is what caused it to become a phenomenon.
Yeah, and the Animal Crossing series has been like long loved series, and the last Animal Crossing game came out on the DS like 12 years ago. So
my hatred for Animal Crossing is because it's usually, and I mean absolutely no offense to anyone, but it's usually those teeny boppers who are like, I games too, and this is the only game they've ever played.
Yeah. It's also a lot of like older people, like a lot of people's grandmothers.
Now it is,
yeah.
Way back when Animal Crossing series first started, like that's how you were to hook your girlfriends into video games.
So Animal Crossing, it's good. If you're looking for a very specific experience, it's good. So my number 6 game is Pokemon Shield. We've already talked about it. It was good. I had my time with it. I definitely... And this is where I'm going to be like... Because now we're in the top 6. Now we're in the top row. Pokemon Shield absolutely does not deserve to be in this list. I'll tell you that right now. It is. It is in this list.
Because of time played, because of how much time you put into it to maximize that one Pokemon.
Yes. So, but my point is that Pokemon Shield has no business being above Hades and Streets of Rage. Or Animal Crossing, for that matter. It is, because I'm a fool. And don't be like me. Don't sink time into games. Look at me, viewers and listeners. Do not sink your time into games that aren't worth your time. There are so many good games out there, and you deserve better.
Like your family. Go spend time with them.
Yeah, that too. But Anyway, so that's my number 6. So now we're cracked into the top layer of crust here. What's your number 6?
So my number 6, and I already know what your list is, so I know what this is going to bleed into. So this is a good transition for us. My number 6 is Risk of Rain 2.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice.
Risk of Rain 2 is a game that is great mobile. At the time that when this came out, Lady Sage and I had taken the kids to New Jersey to see the fam, to see you. So I had played the heck out of this game on the airplane during the travel.
I'm honestly surprised this is your number 6 because I did not think you had put that much time into this game.
Oh, I wanted to improve. I wanted to get better so that I could hit.
Let's stream it. Dude, Scott Pilgrim can go take a walk.
I need to get the rust off to commit to this. But Risk of Rain 2 is definitely a game that I enjoyed. I also liked that there was different classes. I also liked that there was that old school programmer hidden secret things that you don't know that you'll find until you stumble across them type things.
And then they unlock a character.
Unlock a character. You find a hidden room behind a leaf that takes you to a third dimension that brings you to another world. Or if you defeat the boss, you unlock another map that gives you another character. That's some cool stuff. They don't make games like that anymore.
Online multiplayer?
Multiplayer.
It works.
It has the characters that you can play have different, there's the heavy or the loader or the healer or the whatever. They have different classes.
Yeah, the ninja that's primary, like melee, the weird self-damaging plant robot thing. Yeah,
there's a lot of really cool characters to it.
It's really good.
Yet again, it has that indie artistic style that's funky and weird and
I mean, it is an indie title.
I totally love that stuff. I am turning into Nick Yeti. What is wrong with me?
Was it grossly hard? Yes. Indie game? Yes.
So I mean, the Risk of Rain is one of those secret not
a lot of people know about it.
Killer Queen Black is not on my list, and I'm ashamed that it's not, but it's yet again, it should be up there because it's just like Killer Queen Black. Risk of Rain is just like Killer Queen Black, where it's got such great different components, and coming from an indie developer, it deserves so much more praise than what they both get.
It's a sleeper hit, for sure.
Yeah.
Both of them are.
So, I know you did 6. What's your 5?
Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2. What else is there to say?
Yeah. So clearly you played the game a little bit more than I did.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Just like this much. Risk of Rain 2.
Actually, I'm kind of curious if Risk of Rain still shows up on my how many hours I played list.
Oh no, I refuse to reveal the amount of hours I've actually played for any of these games. I'm not going to reveal that.
It doesn't come up, unfortunately.
Yeah, so Risk of Rain is my number 5. My number 4, and this one Risk of Rain deserves to be up there, and this one deserves to be up there, is Rocket League.
Put things into slight perspective, I had Splatoon 2 in my number 11 spot. According to this, Splatoon 2 has gotten about 10 hours of my time.
Oh, wow. We're talking... We have very different scales. That's why I'm not saying what any of my time played are. Anyway, yeah, Rocket League is my number 4. Rocket League is awesome. I had Rocket League on Switch before it was...
Wait, you mean 5? Oh, no, because you just did...
Yeah, Risk of Rain 2 was 5. And we'll have a little graphic.
Hold on, before you do 4 then, because then we're going to skip over my 5.
Oh, you didn't do... Okay, yeah.
I didn't do my 5. My 5 is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
Okay. That's a classic. And I know you played this a lot with Little Red.
It's a classic. I played a lot of Little Red, but it's on my top 5 for one reason only. It was the only way to get some of the hidden Pokemon to be transferred into Pokemon Home. So Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is my number 5. So we're now moving into the number 4. You were saying, what is it?
So my number 4 is Rocket League. I purchased Rocket League before it was free to play. And I played a lot of it on the Switch. What's crazy is I've actually played a lot more Rocket League, but mostly I now play it on PC. Because it is a game of speed and precision. And it runs at 30 frames per second on the Switch. And on my PC, it runs at 144 frames per second. So, if you can only play it on the Switch, it's worth playing on the Switch. But if you can play it on something else, play it on something else. It's great. Yeah. Online multiplayer, that's the primary thing. Go figure. My top games are all going to be featuring online multiplayer primarily. But yeah, Rocket League is amazing. Is it on your, bless you, is it on your top?
No, it's not on my, it would be if we were like viewing my Xbox playlist, but.
Oh yeah, because you play it on a different system.
I play it on Xbox, but okay. No, it's not on my list.
So what is your number 4?
1, 2, 3, 4 is Minecraft Dungeons.
Okay.
Which I yet again I've seen your list, so I'm kind of teeing you up here.
We've played it a lot, mostly together. So
I'll be honest with you, Minecraft Dungeons is a phenomenal game.
It's great.
It really is, and it definitely deserves to be up on the top 12 list.
Does it deserve to be number 4? We should take these games and we should reorder them into the order that we think they deserve to be in.
Ooh.
Side quest.
I had a side quest already, but we can definitely do that. So
yes, Minecraft Dungeons. This is also something you play with Little Red.
Yeah, I played a bunch of this with Little Red. I played a bunch of this with you, Nick Yeti. So, it's a great game. It's a phenomenal game. The only reason why I'm not sure if it deserves to be number, 4? Mine's 4. Yeah. That it doesn't deserve to be number 4 is because the DLC and the expansions to this game are lackluster, and there's not enough new weapons to make it interesting. And I feel like at some point it becomes repetitive.
Yes, sir.
It also gets to a point where it has like this difficulty scale that as you're going up, Little Red can handle it, no problem. No problem at all. He continues to enjoy himself. But then it gets to a certain point, and then all of a sudden, it's no longer just let me run and gun. No longer let me just tank. And for a kid, you've got to learn to step back and to take certain skill-based decisions in order to get through some of the more difficulty sections. And that becomes aggravating for a child, and therefore it becomes I'm just going to stop. And as an adult, there are aspects of the game that as you continue forward, do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I think that's when I really started enjoying it. Because when we started it, I remember Nick Yeti was like, it's awesome. I started playing it, and I'm like, I don't know about this. And then we cranked up the difficulty, and it got really hard. And I was like, okay, now I like this. But yeah.
Oh, I love the challenge. Absolutely love the challenge.
Is why I like to play it. The reason I stopped playing it, the reason we all stopped playing it, is because we grinded. We got to the end. We got the best weapons and the best armor. They released DLC. The DLC levels are not as fun. I mean, they're fine, but they're just long. But then you get the best armor and the best weapons. And then you wait for more DLC to come out. And it's just kind of like, it lacks true end game.
They tried to correct that problem by creating daily challenges in the next update. But the daily challenges were boring.
They're just tedious. Yeah. Instead of like Diablo 3 has the best end game because the whole game is end game. You just grind and you get better and better gear, better and better weapons, your characters get stronger, and you're fighting stronger opponents. And that scales. They figured out the formula to make that balanced and scale it infinitely. Minecraft Dungeons is they just put weird modifiers on existing mobs and tweaked things that you have to play very, very slowly and very, very carefully, and it's just tedious. It's not the same. Diablo, you play the same throughout the time you're playing the game. And you play and you get better and better and better, and you play better and you get better gear. In Minecraft, you play one way, and then when you're doing the daily quests, you have to tiptoe on eggshells, because if you die once, you're screwed, because you don't have multiple lives. It's just a bunch of nonsense. So, Minecraft Dungeons is my number 3 most played game. And everything you said is true. The combat is really fun. The game's really fun. It's got a lot of fun, different things you can do with it. It doesn't have endgame. It needs to. I think maybe they'll add it somewhere, because Diablo 3 really didn't have the endgame that it has now until a couple years after it has released. Minecraft Dungeons has been out for maybe a year, maybe not even a year, so I still think it has some growing to do. I don't know. I have very little faith in Microsoft's management of the Minecraft franchise, in that I would say that they're going to add meaningful endgame.
I'm sorry. I'm an Xbox fanboy. I'm a Microsoft fanboy. I would print the $M logo on my chest if I could. I think Microsoft has done a phenomenal job pushing the Minecraft realm into different directions and expanding its reach. It has done a lot of great creative things. It has just now come to light that a lot of their decisions may have stretched them too thin, which is why they started, like they got rid of Minecraft Earth and stuff like that. I think if they were to put better focus on the things that are really good, like the DLC that they're creating for actual Java Minecraft, or, the Better Together update or whatever.
Yeah,
because they've added a lot of
content and dungeons. Yeah.
They've added a lot of interesting things to that game, or if they started focusing on Minecraft Dungeons, which I think is a phenomenal game.
It is. It just needs to. It just needs a little push.
It needs faster things added to it that aren't 3 days worth of grind, and they need more dramatic changes and added things to it.
Yeah, it needs.
I also think that they need to expand the home village and expand the customization for your character.
Yeah, the bones of that are there.
Oh, yeah. But they just need to give you the option to build your own town, or give you the option of expanding your different store shops, or expand your option of what it is that you're wearing for customized looks and weapons and colors and blah, blah, blah. Like, they just need to give it that little extra.
Yeah, it needs some quality of life stuff.
You can hire me, Microsoft. $sign on my chest. I'm ready for you.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna hire you with the Zelda T-shirt.
Do I need to take this off?
So that Minecraft Dungeons is my number 3.
3. What's your number?
Yeah, what's your number?
It was my number 4. So my number 3. We're getting into the home stretch. My final 3. I know that my top 3 are going to be some interesting conversations, so we're just going to let this happen. My number 3 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
All right. All right.
Can I tell you, of all of the things that are on my list, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate probably does not deserve to be number 3. I'll agree it deserves to be on my top 12. Does not deserve to be number 3.
And why? Why? Elaborate.
Because they have disappointed me. Because they have disappointed you. I would play
We're not talking about my list. We're talking about your list.
I would play
this game.
I would play this game so much more if I had friends who wanted to play it. Unfortunately, my friends know better than I, and therefore they don't play it.
Oh man.
We have discussed Super Smash Brothers in depth on multiple occasions, several different episodes, and we'll continue to do. ad nauseum, and will continue to do so for years to come, I'm sure. Because Nintendo, this is one of your biggest fluffs.
So
temper your response.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to talk.
But it is on your list.
It is on my list.
You have played it, and does it deserve to be in the top 12?
I'll get there.
Okay.
So that was your number 3. So my number 2 is appropriately Splatoon 2. How'd that happen? Splatoon 2 is a phenomenal game. I've obviously put many hours into it. It's satisfying. If you've never played Splatoon, you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you have played Splatoon, you know what I mean when I say it's satisfying. Even if you play it on the most basic level, the first time you pick up Splatoon, and I experienced this playing Splatoon 1 on the Wii U, you're like, what is this? And you shoot, and you just cover the level in ink. And you're just like, why do I love this as much as I do?
Because it feeds that inner child of using your crayons and drawing on the wall.
Make a mess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a bigger mess than you. It's essentially what this game is. Splatoon 2. I mean, we talked about
for the record. Already. For the record, if at your core that is something that you like to do, is to make a bigger mess, you need to go into home demolition and renovation. It'll make your life so much better.
But we talked about Splatoon 2 already. We've talked about how most of us prefer Splatoon 1. I will say, my main gripe, so we talked about what's great about Splatoon 2. They did all kinds of cool stuff. They added new weapons. They supported it for a long time. They are still doing Splatfests here and there. The community is fantastic. The competitive community is fantastic. They
#free melee.
#free melee. It absolutely,
because that's still a thing.
It's going to still be a thing. It absolutely deserves to be on this list. I don't know if it deserves number 2. It probably does. Maybe. It deserves top 5, for sure.
Okay.
On the Switch. I would say it's one of the better games on the Switch. Overall.
Mine was number 11, so I didn't enjoy it as much as you did, but okay.
The reason why it's so high up, and the reason why I don't really enjoy it very much or play it much anymore, is me and Wolf by Trade got into it competitively. Like, we got really into it. We played a lot of it. We played ranked. We played all this stuff. And the problem with trying to get into competitive Splatoon now is the player base looks like this. You have people over here who just want to make a bigger mess than the other person. People who just picked it up on sale. People, kids that enjoy it, that it's really fun. And then you have hyper-competitive community over here. And you have almost nothing in between.
So I am the one, yet again, I was the roller in Splatoon 1. I enjoy painting the map. I am the guy who, while everybody else is killing each other, running around painting the side walls and the back alleys and the corner and edges of your spawn point so that everything is covered. I am the guy that helps you win. You are the guy.
In competitive. The competitive has team-based objectives. But there's in 2020, because that's the last year I got into it, the community and the player base is not big enough and is not varied enough in skill to have good matchmaking. You're either a beginner or you're a super duper expert. And if you're in between, you're in a very, very frustrating place because you're either getting match made with the very, very low end or the very, very high end. The super competitive scene doesn't even use the matchmaking. Everybody who plays competitive Splatoon goes on a Splatoon Discord and finds and chats with other teams and creates their own custom matches. And if you're at that level, that's way too rich for my blood. Like, my skill level is not to the point where I would dabble in that because I'm not good enough. But I was just kind of in the middle, and it just ended up being a really frustrating place to be because the matchmaking can't... I believe the matchmaking has the potential to create balanced matches, but once you get into that seriously intermediate level, it doesn't, because not enough people play the game. Now, me and Wolf by Trade have often discussed that our most hotly anticipated game would be Splatoon 3. Because some new mechanics, some balancing and ironing out of things from Splatoon 2, and an entire new game.
If they took a serious look back at Splatoon 1 and fully realized what made that game so successful, and then took what they learned from Splatoon 2, but tweaked their mistakes and made a perfect marriage, they could make what Ninjala set out to do. They could truly take the market.
Splatoon 3, I don't know if it's going to happen.
But they even had the social media marketing presence with the music. Like, to this day, I played Splatoon 1's story campaign, and that final boss scene where he gets in and the beat drops, dude, I was pumped. Like,
Splatoon 1 had a better story mode too.
Edge of my seat, pumped. Like, when they did Splatoon 2 and the marketing for that game, they tried to recreate that. They made all sorts of like animes and music festivals and like all sorts of these things. I think they put their focus on the wrong things.
See, I was completely off the Splatoon 2 hype train because I didn't have a Switch.
No.
So I looked at Splatoon and I went, oh, it looks so good. It's Splatoon. And I went like, la 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 la. I'm not listening. I don't have a Switch. I don't care. And then they announced Smash Ultimate, and I got a Switch the next day. And then shortly after that, I got Splatoon 2, and I'm like, yes, okay.
And the most disappointing game on your list is the game that you bought the Switch for.
So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Pokemon Sword.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. It's out there.
Put a lot of effort in that thing. Like,
you also spent a lot of effort. Like, a good portion of your time was just bringing Pokemon from previous games into Sword, right?
Yeah. I spend so much time trying to be the very best and have all the best things.
Does it deserve to be number 2? Would you say? Is it the second best game that you've played on Switch?
Oh, no. It deserves to probably be in the top 12. Most certainly. Like, if we were to rearrange this, I believe it deserves to be up there, but not number 2.
Yeah. That same thing with Shield. Shield is in my number 6 spot. It doesn't deserve to be in the number 6 spot. If Pokemon Sword and Shield get credit for nothing else, it's for being a large enough time suck to weasel its way
up the list
into, the large digits of hours. So yeah. So,
I already know what your number 1's going to be.
How do you know that?
Because
my number 1.
Let's not end this on a fight.
My number 1 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch, and it doesn't deserve to be number 1. Everyone knows my dirty laundry with Smash. Everyone knows the story, but if you don't, let me give you just the quickest rundown. I promise not to rant here. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a good game. It's a good game. I really enjoy the mechanics. I think it's more accessible. It's easier to play than Melee, because Melee you have to practice for 10 years of your life just to get your character to do what you want him to do. I felt a really good degree of control, and say what you will about the mechanics for the buffer system and input latency and all that stuff. Mistakes were made on that. It's not the best Smash, technically. But I thoroughly enjoyed it as much, if not more than Melee. from the game perspective, from the actual game, mechanically, the online is hot doo-doo butter butt cheeks garbage dumpster fire mess. It's bad. It's one of the worst games for online multiplayer on this entire list. It's worse than Splatoon, it's worse than Dungeons, it's worse than Risk of Rain 2, it's worse than Rocket League, it's worse than Animal Crossing. It's not worse than Diablo, because Diablo is actually non-functional. It's worse than DBFZ, it's worse than Streets of Rage. Haiti doesn't have an online multiplayer, and I would say it chalks up to about even with Ninjala. So out of all the games that have online multiplayer on this list, Smash Ultimate is at the very bottom of the list in online multiplayer, and that's kind of my thing. So, Smash Ultimate is a great game. It's a great Smash game. If I can play next to somebody on a couch, it's one of my favorite games on the Switch, if not my favorite game on the Switch. But maybe being in lockdown for the last 10 months and only having access to online multiplayer has made me a salty, saucy, crotchety, grouchy old man. But yeah, Ultimate deserves to be on top 12. Absolutely does not deserve to be in the number 1 spot. So there. And the DLC has been... What? Sephiroth, yes. Minecraft Steve.
Piranha Plant.
The first and the last DLC have been great. Everything else between has been like...
I like Banjo. Banjo was... I wasn't a huge fan. Banjo was okay, though.
For the most part, the DLC has been oatmeal that got too much water added to it, so it's all like wimpy, and then you let it get cold. And that's gross. Nobody wants to eat that.
Your reviews of things always lead back to food.
They really do. I'm one hungry.
I feel like we should put you in a chef's hat and be like, Presto.
Yeah, fun fact, if I ever cook anything for you, make sure you have poison control on your speed dial.
Health insurance.
Yeah. So, Corporal, it's all come down to this moment. What is your number 1 game? I actually don't know. I actually have no idea. What is your...
best game to have ever come to the Nintendo Switch amongst everything that has ever been released?
What is it?
Fortnite.
No.
No, I'm kidding. It's Zelda. It's Breath of the Wild.
Oh, that makes sense.
Come on.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
All the listeners just threw their phones across the room. No, it's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, you cannot get a better game than that.
Yeah.
That is the epitome of best games. Does it deserve to be in the top 12? Heck yeah. Does it deserve to be in the top 5? Heck yeah. Does it deserve to be in the top 1? You damn well bet.
Yeah.
I
feel like that's the one game on this entire list that we've said, yes, this game is in the appropriate spot on the list.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have it. I had it for Wii U.
Yeah.
I was an early adopter, or I was a late adopter, technically, on the Switch. But yeah, I had it on the Wii U, and it's amazing. It's classic. A lot of people bought Switches to play Breath of the Wild.
It delivered on everything that they promised they were going to deliver on. Now, granted, let me say, they had a very long development cycle, and it was met with a lot of hiccups. And they pushed back that game like 6 times. But let me tell you, every time they pushed that back, the video content that they would release shortly afterwards proved that they made the right choice. And in the final Breath of the Wild game that was released, the final breath of its release, it was near perfect.
A good game is good forever. A late game is only late once, but a good game is good forever.
I have a couple minor gripes about this game, but at the end of it, it's phenomenal.
Masterpiece.
And let me tell you, like, Ocarina of Time, it really hit you. Like, there was a good story there. I literally cried at Mipha dying in this game.
Wow,
Like,
spoilers.
Mifa's grace and how she like protects you and she revives you and brings you back because her love for you is what brings you back, and her healing powers is like what comes from the like, oh my god. Like,
why isn't it the Legend of Mifa though? Why is Link always got to be messing around with fish people?
The fish people, I don't know.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird. We've talked about Zelda dating sim before. You would play it. It would be in your top 12 if there was a Zelda dating sim. I know it. You can't deny it.
Yeah, probably. I got a thing for those fish girls. What can I say?
Yeah. That was a weird way to end it, but yeah.
Hold on. Before we end it, let's give a quick run through.
Oh yeah, runners up.
Your runners up.
Okay.
So my runners up. I'm just gonna
just go
right
through the next level.
The bottom row. From left to right. So from most to least is Starlink, Fortnite, Mario Odyssey, Castle Crashers, Borderlands, and Tetris 99.
Okay. What's your favorite among those 6?
Among those 6, it's a no-brainer. Castle Crashers stands above the rest.
Okay.
I do agree that Mario Odyssey is a phenomenal game, but I have a special place for Castle Crashers because it's that side-scroll, weird art style type game. It fits within my repertoire.
Yeah. My runners-up are Monster Hunter Rise demo.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I can't wait until the full game comes out. I can't wait.
Demo.
The demo. Yikes. Mortal Kombat 11. It's trash. The only reason it's runner-up is because it doesn't have, like, a timeout, and I would leave it on and then, like, go look stuff up and come back to it. It's not even my game. It's Nick Yeti's. I borrowed it. It's absolute garbage. Borderlands 2. Awesome. We've played that together. Yep. It's a great game. Super Mario Maker 2, which I owned. It did not capture the same magic as Mario Maker 1. You have to go through all kinds of crazy loops to get people to play your level. Sold. I sold it outside to some weird lady at Walmart. Killer Queen Black. Metal. Absolutely deserves to be higher. It's my own fault for not playing it more hours.
I was about to say, Killer Queen Black deserves so much more than what even we give it credit for.
Yes, it's a hard game. It's a skill-based game that you need to play with friends on comms, and that's the reason why we haven't played it as much, because you need to have that coordination and dedication to really play it right.
Yeah,
because I like, it's the same thing. I get competitive with my games. I can't play a game like that casually. I have to dive in, and that is a team-based game.
And so you need a team to do it with. Yeah.
And then my last runner-up is Mario Kart 8. I borrowed it from my nephews. I had to give it back. I'll see you in Mario Kart 9. I don't know what to say.
Still end on a sour note.
That's not sour. I'm just saying. It's like it's my 18th most played game, and I don't own it. Anyway, did that count as a side quest? I think that counted as a side quest.
My side quest. I actually had a side quest.
Okay,
for this
side quest us.
Corporal, what's your side quest?
Hey, Corporal.
Sean!
What's your side quest? Sean.
So my side quest was, of all games on the Switch, what would be your top 5? Not on your most played hours, but like what is generally your favorite games that should be on your top 5.
Okay, it has to be Smash Ultimate. Has to be there because it is.
Is it number 1 though?
It's not. Oh, do I have to rank them in top 5?
Yeah, let's try to rank them.
Oh Lord, that's too hard. In no order. In no order, I will give you top 5. Smash, for sure. Splatoon, for sure. Hades, for sure. So I say Smash, Splatoon, Hades. Probably Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah.
Probably Streets of Rage 4. And then tough. I want to say Rocket League, because I love Rocket League. Like, Rocket League is definitely a top 5 game. But there's so many, like, literally play Rocket League on any other system. Any other system. Like, just it's a fantastic game. But on the Switch, I don't think it earns that spot. It's either Risk of Rain or Animal Crossing.
Okay.
It's either Risk of Rain 2 or Animal Crossing. It depends. They're the polar opposites of game experiences. It's like hot, sweaty, hot, frantic, and sweaty, or like the most chilled out experience ever.
Thought you were gonna say hot, sweaty freckles, and I was like, wait, what?
No, nobody has freckles in that game.
So my top 5, yet again, probably in no particular order, but we all know Breath of the Wild, number 1, no matter what. I'm going to say Risk of Rain. I'm going to say Minecraft Dungeons, just because of how much I actually really did enjoy playing that game. I still think Pokemon deserves to be in the top 5, not top 2. Maybe actual 5.
Maybe top 10. Maybe top 10. Maybe. Probably not.
And I am not as turned off by the online multiplayer as you are. So I think Super Smash Bros. Ultimate deserves to be in the top 5.
Yeah, I think so.
I honestly would have put something like Final Fantasy or Mario Kart up there, but like they are such an older game. They're not something I consistently go back to.
Yeah, replayability is low. I do think when Monster Hunter Rise comes out, it will be a top 5 game.
Yeah. I'll
reserve judgment until we see the whole game, because we've only played the demo, but
I really am curious to see what the larger world, the world at large, and what story is able to provide for me, because I'm a story-based guy. Yeah. I need to have that hook. The hook has got to be good.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We're going to end it there with one last little segment. I don't want to lose this what we're drinking segment, because I think it's really interesting. And I'm actually drinking something interesting for once that I can talk about. And it's what you've seen me been sipping on this whole episode. What is it? No, it's not sunflower juice. It is a little beverage called Willie's Super Brew.
Okay.
And it is like an all-natural hard seltzer. And I'm not a seltzer guy. Like, I like beer, I like wine. I don't really drink seltzer. But, these are delicious. Like, this one's pineapple and lime. They have a mango and passion fruit that I don't have any left because they're that delicious. But this is a Northeast thing. So, like, if you're in, like, probably, like, Baltimore, Maryland, north, and, like, Ohio, east, you can probably find one of these. Corporal, you're probably out of luck. But it's, like, all natural ingredients. It's no added sugar. It's, like, it's not bad. It's like healthier and alcohol drinks. And they're delicious. 4.5 ABV. They're yummy. I've been drinking a bunch of them. They're really good. I would highly recommend trying Willie's Super Brew if you find it.
I had a banana, blueberry, almond milk smoothie and water.
That's a lot of ingredients. I didn't know where you were going with that. You're like, almond, blueberry, banana. I'm like, you're just naming things that you see.
Yeah, no, it was a smoothie. This is what I was drinking before we got started.
Yeah, yummy. All right, well, that's our show. Thanks for sticking with us 30 episodes in.
I like coffee.
Yes. Well, you've plugged Bones so many times on this show.
I love Bones coffee. Do you know what they call sad coffee?
Depresso.
Yes! You got it! My horrible dad joke.
It only took me 30 episodes to be able to guess one of these horrible dad puns.
Depresso.
Depresso is the adjective that I use when I've run out of coffee. And I'm either too tired, too lazy, or I don't have any coffee left to make more. And I just am like, what happened? What happened in my life that I don't have any more coffee?
All right, everybody. Follow us on Instagram. Find us on Twitter.
Yes,
YouTube.
we're streaming Tuesdays, Fridays, Sunday afternoons. You better be watching us.
For whatever reason, the afternoon tends to be better than the evening.
Tuesday night. Oh, it's fun. Friday night, obviously, and then Sunday night. You got stuff to do. You got to get ready for work. Sunday afternoon, though, chilling.
You get out of church. You're ready to relax and enjoy your day. Like
Ready to watch Corporal Nosaj get his ass beat into the ground by Matthew Patel.
Yeah, this past Sunday, I played Scott Pilgrim and got my.
It wasn't that bad. You were close. You'll get it next time.
All right, everybody.
All right, take care. Bye.